Yo, 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 what's that word? This is 3012 in the podcast. I am your host, Brodrick. Episode 27 going to be a very special episode. Looking forward to it, just chopping it up with some longtime friends, but professionals. I can't give them their just due, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. First, we're going to start off with my boy.
Rip, what's good? How y'all doing? Representing a passion, XNVIX, musician, artist, all that and above. It's good, y'all folk.
That's it?
Yeah.
I'm John Georges, co-host of 3 Geeks in a Pod, co-host of Failed Attempts, presented by 3 Geeks in a Pod, which is coming soon. Sometime pop culture writer for upyourgeek.com. Check those articles out, they're still up. Yeah. Talk pop culture shit, movies, and have a good time. Check out my show.
Well,
we're here to have a good time with the Rockster.
That's right. The boy.
Now, we usually have a topic we focus on and stuff like that, but here we're just going to spitball a couple of things, but still give y'all the good. So, without further ado, what is something you want to talk about today, brother?
Let's jump into it. Honestly, so we got to talk the finals. The finals is on right now, NBA finals. My team is in the finals.
Wow.
Miami Heat is in the finals.
Yeah.
You know that's my team. You know I love the Miami Heat. You know how I feel about the Miami Heat.
Were you crying, my boy?
I was
A
crying.
little bit because I was hating on them all year, but
He was crying for different reasons. I was crying because it's like, you know, when you finally get that finish line, like Drake said, you know, you just gotta have a warrior spirit. This was beautiful to see. An 8th seed.
I'm not gonna lie, everything I've heard so far about the NBA, the Miami Heat, they're not supposed to be where they're at right now.
That's what they say. That's what they say. But don't listen to non-believers. We don't listen to non-believers. We listen to ourselves. 8th seed going all the way to the finals. So we seen game 1. Yeah, we lost game 1. I know everybody getting scared. I'm not terrified. I'm telling y'all right now, I'm not scared. I can tell you a bunch of reasons why I'm not scared. You wanna know why I'm not scared? Who we lose by? You the expert. Who we lose by?
was it about 10 or 11 points?
We lose by 10 or 11 points.
Yeah, it wasn't that far.
Okay, let me got something for y'all because I had something ready. Give me a second, y'all. It don't take me but a second, y'all. I had something ready.
He was prepared
I was
for
prepared.
it. Yeah, the deficit itself wasn't that
Wasn't that
big.
crazy? And we lose by 10 points.
But
We
I
lose
also
by 10
like,
points. Let me give y'all some stats. Okay? Usually it's the stat guy, but today I'm the stat guy. Today I'm the stat guy. Caleb Moore. We got Caleb Moore 1 for 7. We got Max Strus 0 for 10. 0 for 10. 0 for 10. I love you, Max Strus, but don't ever do that to me again. Let me see. Duncan Robinson 1 for 6. Which is
The thing about this though is
wait.
when you rely on these dudes the whole year, they came alive in the playoffs, but
And
now
we don't come alive again. Don't worry about that. Hold on. What
they're
I'm saying
now
is,
maybe regressing to the
no,
mean.
you said that last. You said that last series. You said that last
you
series.
think
You're
they
wrong.
played all, you
No.
think they played it all out? You think
No.
They got like not
It's
that
I'm gonna
one
let him
thing
make his
inside?
point because I want to see what he has to say.
It's one game. It's one game. We played a game. It wasn't at home. They had home court advantage. They beat us by 10 points in one of our worst shooting nights from some key players from our team. So I'm not concerned we're gonna lose by 10 points. A few of those shots go in that can make the difference.
But here's another question because I was only able to catch like half the game for that one. Weren't they actually causing these boys to do them shots? Like
No, there was some.
These,
I was what? No, we
these
missed
shots
some.
might not. These shots.
We missed
some
some.
of them-
They were playing great defense. I'm not gonna say here and say
I was
that
gonna say, like, some
the
of these
Denver
shots were
Nuggets are
forced.
great. The Denver Nuggets are great, but I'm not gonna say that, come on. They play great defense, but we're missing some wide open shots. We missed some wide open shots there.
I did see
I
a couple
mean,
wide ones.
but the last-
Jimmy
the
was
last-
setting them up. Jimmy was setting them up, and they could not deliver.
But the last 2 games they weren't shooting great. I mean, Caleb Martin was, but those other guys weren't coming through. Like they've been struggling. Duncan Robinson is almost the reason the Celtics won the game 7. I'm talking about the game 6. He missed those last 2 critical shots at the end, 2 or 3 in the last 4 minutes. He went to a game 7. Of course,
Duncan
he
Robinson is
prevailed.
great. He's gonna come through. We believe in our players. Heat Nation.
All I gotta say.
But that doesn't mean we have to though.
You don't have to believe in
There's
it.
hope in the air. That's all I gotta say, cause them boys have made it, bro. Like,
But what hope is it?
I don't know, bro. It made them get to the finals.
Heat is gonna be the first team to win fully based on heart.
I'm not buying
Alright.
that.
Jimmy
I'm not buying it at
Butler,
all.
Jimmy Butler got that talk no jutsu.
I'm not buying
Talk
it.
about
Of course, my team didn't make it to the finals. The
Yeah, we
Lakers,
know they did.
shout out Laker Nation out there. We didn't make it, but comeback king. We might have a little bit on that a little later. But at the same time, we didn't make it. But I did get an up close and personal viewpoint on the Denver Nuggets. So I'm not surprised how game 1 went. Although the Heat only lost by 10 points, the entire game they were losing by double digits. They made a last-ditch comeback at the end, as we know the Heat are going to do, because they're a resilient team. That can't be disputed. You got to give them their credit where credit is due. But at the same time, they haven't faced a team of this caliber that's not going to have those huge hills and valleys. They're going to play consistent, and even if they get off rhythm for a little bit, they're so
You don't think
thorough.
You don't think them other teams were like set up pretty much? Like you don't think them other teams were like fully built for that?
Every
Phoenix
level that
Suns.
we've been on, every level that the Heat has been on, is all I'm gonna say. Every level the Heat has been on, they have exceeded expectations. They're not expected to get out the first round. They're not expected to get out the second round. They weren't expected to get out the Eastern Conference
I'm not gonna
Finals.
lie.
So I'm not gonna count the Heat out. They have a chance. As long as they got Jimmy Butler, they got a chance.
But we also can't ignore this. And again, I'm a self-proclaimed Heat hater. Think about this. First round, Giannis was hurt. Second round,
He played.
New York Knicks. Nothing else need to be said. But Julius Randle was clearly hurt. He just had surgeries today. So he was playing hurt.
Okay.
Third round, first minute, Jason Tatum hurt his foot.
Right.
He's going up against a fully healthy, they're going up against a fully healthy team.
Who's
We
going up
don't see
against
how
a
they
fully
play.
healthy team? Oh, I thought you were saying they were going up against us and we were fully healthy. I'm like, we were not fully healthy. I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Like the Heat was like.
Well, they don't have Tyler
still
Hero,
missing. I was gonna
but
say y'all still missing the boy.
Tyler Hero, Victor Oladipo. Jimmy's been dealing with some injuries, some knick-knack injuries. Like,
Aren't them your hitters?
we ain't gonna
but that's
cry,
just
but
Tyler Hero. That's
Hero.
another reason why I don't think they're going to be successful as well.
Hey man, see, listen.
Tyler might be
Dollars
back in the
gonna
third
doubt.
game.
Dollars gonna doubt. I want you to do a show.
Tyler.
Right, he might be get back for game 3.
Oh,
But I tell you what, I like what Draymond.
We'll see.
I watched Draymond Green's podcast. I like what he had to say on that about Tyler Hero. Like, if you win, like for instance, if you lose 2 games, in a row, then you insert Tyler Hero. If you win, if it's because he's like, then you try to mix something up. You tried everything, it's like trying to mix something up for game 3. But if you win one in Denver, don't mix anything up because these guys got a good rhythm. The guys have been playing. Yeah. He's been out of rotation. You can't just throw him back in there because Tyler Hero in the regular season, he took the most shots for the Miami Heat. You guys can look that up. He took the most shots for the Miami Heat. He was the primary shot taker. So like him being hurt is like actually like a big thing.
But this is another point why I think that the Nuggets are so deadly because you have to play up to their level. Like sure the Heat can mix it up, but I don't think the Nuggets will have to adjust as much because they're so thorough at what they do. Like they got good coaching. They had a superstar player, 2-time MVP, Nikola Jokic, Jamal Murray been playing out of his mind. We know.
Okay.
I think we can admit at this point there is a such thing as playoff Jamal Murray. He definitely raises his game to damn near a top 10 player status in the NBA in the playoffs. So we're gonna see how they go.
Okay, but let's say this: they might have they have the top 2 players in the series, correct?
No,
you wouldn't say that.
I put Jimmy too.
Okay, oh definitely Jimmy better than Jimmy. But I'll put Jimmy over your boy.
Yeah, because he plays both ends.
Yeah,
but Jamal
up there.
Yeah,
Jamal up there. So
definitely.
okay, but still they got the best player in the series in Jokic, right?
Definitely.
Okay, fine, but player can't win a series alone. I feel like now they got a great team. They have a great team. But I feel like we have the better coach. I like him a lot.
I agree.
But I feel like we had the better. I feel like he's the best coach in the league.
Yeah.
He's the best. Easily. I'm like, bro, I don't understand why this man never won a coach of the year. Straight up robbery right there. He never won coach of the year. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is 6 finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
who knows how they end my year? I mean, like how the year might end.
well, somebody already won this year.
Who won it this year? I'm not even 100% sure.
Somebody that got fired.
What?
Yeah, was it Monty?
Was it Monty? Yeah.
I'm not
Let's
100%
look that up.
Y'all let me know in the comments who was NBA Coach of the Year, but how the NBA worked, pretty sure it was somebody that got fired. Kind of like Dwayne Casey a couple of years ago, got fired from the Raptors after being Coach of the Year.
Well, they did bounce back off of that with Nick Nurse and they get that championship with Kawhi.
Like, he got fired too.
Mike,
shout out to him.
Mike Brown was Coach of the Year.
Kings. Sacramento.
Kings.
Hey, they deserved it.
Yeah, they deserved
Kings getting to the finals, Game 7 against the defending champs. Yeah, he deserved it.
I did hear good things about the Kings actually.
Yeah, he played really well this year.
Sacramento Kings.
For sure. But speaking of stuff,
speaking of the King.
Yeah, speaking of the King, man, we gotta discuss this. First, before we say anything, please, LeBron, come back. I wish I had some Jordans Cause I'd be like fucking Scottie Pippen to the camera right now. We was begging Jordan to come back. Please don't retire. I know you
Scotty.
did.
Real quick, let me sidebar. Scotty, stop all that disrespectful stuff about Mike. We don't like to see that. Okay, we don't like to see that. Okay, cut that out.
You're not saying we. I love it, Scotty. Speak your truth.
Speak
He's
your
a
mind.
grown man.
Whatever you decide
know what
to
you was
speak.
talking
You
about.
better than that, Scotty.
Whatever you decide to
You
speak.
better than that. That sucker stuff. But I ain't gonna get into all that.
But yeah, we do got to talk a little bit about, you know, the King's recent teases that he might retire. I hate to say it. That sounds disgusting. And I'll let these guys go first because I'm just very
Let
emotional.
me give my opinion on
I'm not
this.
gonna lie. I didn't know about this news.
You didn't know about LeBron teasing his retirement?
No, I did not actually.
Okay, let me just tell you right
It
now.
kind of makes sense in
Can
my
I
head.
say
You know,
something?
Man has like a nice little run.
I hate to say it like this. Can I look in the camera and say something? This is bullshit. LeBron is looking for attention. LeBron got swept out of the playoffs. He's 38 years old. He's an amazing player still. Possibly still a top 10 player. But the truth of the matter is, he got swept
Possibly
Possibly
a top 10
he's
player.
possibly a top 10 player
He
still.
definitely
He's
is
possibly a top
Absolutely a top 10 player. But
Okay,
yeah, go
he's
ahead.
possibly okay. Fine, he's top 10. He's a top 10 player still, but he got swept about the playoffs. He's 30 years old. It's fine. He's 38 years old. It's fine. I don't hold that against LeBron. Like, I feel like people were killing LeBron, like they were killing him. Man, he got swept out of the playoffs. Like, this is insane.
But
And
this is
then-
how you know.
Well, wait,
you know,
I feel like
they only hold him to these standards.
That's
if you
true.
look at his
That's true.
numbers, they're tops in the league, impressive
His
as far as
numbers are
playoff
scary,
performance.
bro.
I agree with you on
His
that.
numbers are like
But
proof
it's like,
of
you know that
everything.
LeBron likes to control. We know that LeBron likes to
But
control
no one
the
gives him
narrative.
stuff.
And the narrative right now, the narrative was that LeBron got swept. That, you know,
That's the narrative?
that's the truth. It wasn't even the narrative.
I
It was
was
the
gonna say,
truth.
like,
So
yeah,
LeBron
yeah.
creates the narrative that he might walk away from the game. When it's like just a few months ago, even though he has sort of walked back on this a little bit, just a few months ago he's saying like he wants to play with his son and stuff like that. I just think LeBron wants to control the narrative. He wants to keep his name in the talk. Plus, I'm just totally speculating here. I have no proof of this whatsoever. But I think this guy actually could have something to do with the NBA itself. I think that maybe the commissioner and some other people involved in the NBA might even be telling LeBron to do this stuff. Because, like you were saying, LeBron is the biggest face in the NBA. And he's not in the finals right now. He's out of the playoffs right now. People don't expect this to be one of the most watched finals. If it was a LeBron Curry, event, something like that, people would be way more into it. So, like, how do you keep LeBron still involved? How does ESPN still keep talking about him? Okay, LeBron, drop a little tweet. Say you might retire.
You know what can be
I can
another
see that.
angle on this?
I
If
can
he's
see that.
making this point, like if we're talking about like LeBron controlling the narrative, it could be about how LeBron teases his retirement. We know what's going on in the background with the John Morant situation. And this is an ugly situation for the league. Like one of the faces of one of your best young teams getting caught on camera.
They want him to be the face of the league.
Right, so you can't have that type of situation being the main headline. So of course, quite possibly the greatest player of all time teasing retirement is going to overshadow everything. Even though we know the league, well, they're reporting that the league is going to drop the hammer on John and Grizzlies. What you want to say about LeBron, bro?
I forgot. I was just not remembering the John Morant thing. It's like, yeah, that bitch.
How do you feel about, like, do you think, because you're an artist, so who do you think should be blamed in that last John Morant video where his homeboy was on live, John clearly saw he was on live, but he still chose to pull out a gun? Do you think that, how do you feel about that situation?
That to me was kind of it. It's bullshit, I believe, because he looked at the camera
Mm-hmm.
and then he reached.
Yeah.
And that's the part. Like, if he was already like,
So you're saying it's bullshit in the sense he has no excuses? Or?
He I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if his homeboy was just like doing the video and he didn't know if it was on IG. Probably like a personal, like this is just the homies video. We got a couple of them, you know what I mean? Like I would just.
But this
going
is
with the
like
homies.
second incident getting
like,
caught on IG.
Yeah, I know. Like, and that's why I say it's bullshit. Cause like, bro, you can't be fucking up the bag right now, bro.
No.
Big
Like-
bag. I'm
like,
not
you
even
can't
talking
be
the
fucking
bag
up
is
the
already
bag
getting
right
future
now, bro.
bag.
Like. You low key just set up your whole entire family, and look, you're about to possibly lose it, and like you might have to struggle and fight to get everything back, and you might not be at the top.
And there's really not. There's really no
There
get
might not
back.
be like
you're not gonna
exactly.
be
There
able
might
to
not be a chance to
that
get back.
clean-cut
And,
kid
like,
anymore.
the problem I definitely saw in the aspect of the video is because like I saw two videos of it. There was like a short version of it, and then I saw the full-on long version of it. Because I had to go hunting, bro. Because like he just got recently caught on IG doing some stupid shit. I mean, doing that, I would say.
Right.
And then when I was looking at the video, they're cranking, they crunk, they vibing, okay, cool. Next thing you know, I said Job made eye contact with the camera, and next thing out of nowhere, He
Pulls
reached
out
down.
the
He
wood.
done hit one of these from
Pulls
somewhere.
out
He
the
put his
wood,
hand
yeah.
down, and then I want to say the homie was probably just trying to look out for Jaw because it looked like he was trying to cut it off real quick. Like because when he saw it, he's like, oh no, and then from there.
Do you still feel? Because I mean, he's young, but do you think he still has that excuse at this point? Like he's young, he's only in his third year in the league.
Even
like,
if you're young,
He's
I
grown
understand
man.
the aspect
They
of
charging
young. I
15-year-old
understand.
kids as adults in these courtrooms in America.
That is true. That's another thing that America. That's another thing that America does in itself. But the problem with this is he said he wouldn't do it again.
Right.
So like,
That fake ass
you
apology.
kind of like you. That's why I say it's dumb. Like if you didn't say you wouldn't do it again and you did it again, okay, you know what I mean?
I'm
Like
sorry, you gotta throw this out there.
I didn't mean that. But like you just literally told the man, all right, I apologize. I understand my wrong. I understand what I did. I won't do it again. Or like like this, that, and the third. And you're right back out doing it again, bro. It's like,
and
hey man,
that's why I think the league is gonna drop the hammer because you have to send a message with this.
Yeah.
you really do because you kind of fucking with everybody's money now.
And you have to
everybody in
protect
the
your
league, everybody in the league now has to be looked differently
protect your
now.
investment.
And I think they have to. Another reason is because we all know what happened with Gilbert Arenas. We know that run guns in the locker room and all this other type of stuff. So you guys can keep speaking.
Oh, okay.
Technical adjustments, real quick.
Let it stop.
Everything's fine.
Oh, okay. But nah, for that one, that situation itself it was like, don't say you won't do it and then end up doing it. That's the only thing.
Shortly after.
Like that's my only. That's my only. That's my
fucking
only
apology.
like.
First of all, speaking of that,
Do you think it was really from ChatGPT?
absolutely. Also, one more thing, just real quick, sidebar. Okay, support the writers' strike, pay the writers, fuck AI. That's all I got to say on that.
I agree with that.
But go ahead.
Strongly agree with that.
I feel you on that. Well, I mean, do you guys think 40 games would be too excessive?
No, because I think you have to send a clear message.
Mm-hmm.
Like to suspend him 40 games,
Yeah.
I
Out
think
of 82.
half the season.
he got to drop the hammer, man. When he's already been given a chance.
And we know suspensions come without pay. So he's going to lose a lot of money.
Losing a lot of money.
He already lost a Nike endorsement.
You're talking $20 million.
Like, did he not?
Talking $20 million.
I'm not sure, but
I thought Nike took off his shoes.
they said those shoes. The shoes sold
like
out.
his
I thought.
Yeah.
The shoes sold out. So there's
Oh yeah, never mind. Nike
They're
did
making
take them
money.
out, then they brought them back, then they sold immediately. But then again, they sold because they're gonna be. When's the next time you're gonna get a John Morant shoe?
Popping like this. His name is popping right
Like
now.
when? No,
Yeah.
them shoes are collectibles now, bro.
Right.
Them shoes are literally collectibles now.
That's a good point too.
I don't think they're going to. Did they drop him?
I don't.
I don't know if they dropped him from the team.
I don't know if it's a good idea to
I mean,
drop
from
the guy
from
yet. I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, he done some.
They're not
It isn't
selling.
terrible,
I don't know.
40 games might be.
It's in talk. It's in talk.
Maybe
They didn't drop
25
him.
games.
They didn't. Nike didn't drop him, but it's in talk, and his shoes aren't on the his shoes weren't on the app at that
But
point.
at the same,
I don't know if
at the same
anything
time-
has changed up until now, but I do remember that when the situation was going down, Nike was like, "Nah, cut, we're just gonna hold
Right.
these right here."
Maybe we
We'll
can't.
figure
Maybe we
out.
can talk 40 games though, and even more though, because
Yeah.
when I think about it, it's like everybody goes, okay, well he had a gun. And it's like, well, you're allowed to have a gun, and he's constitutional right. It's like, okay, you can have your constitutional right, but I know someone who has a gun. I know someone personally who has a gun, and she always tells me about like it's not necessarily just about like having the gun. It's about learning how to control it, like learning the gun safety, like going to the range, understanding the weapon, that it is a weapon, that it's not a toy. This kid doesn't seem like he understands that he's holding something in his hands that could take the life of the people that he's dancing with right next to him. He could be dancing that thing. He could hurt himself. He could hurt them. So I just don't think he sees, understands the importance of how dangerous the situations that he puts himself are in. And I think he needs this punishment to learn that lesson.
And at the same time, I think it should be around 40 games because most casual fans don't start watching the NBA until around Christmas. So that is around 25 games. Like, we need to know, like, okay, damn, watching the Grizzlies, where's Ja? Like, we need to see, like, what's the situation.
repercussions happening.
Obviously, Dylan Brooks isn't going to be back under any circumstances. Per the Grizzlies
That's
cheating,
crazy.
Even though he was only
That's
talking
crazy.
shit,
They did
got
like
people
that.
up in pipes. But anyways,
He might right?
I mean,
I think they were trying to throw Dylan under the bus for that whole shit.
yeah,
Like for the
Undoubtedly.
behavior of the team, and then he's like, and then Ja fucks it up the next week.
yeah, they basically had like Dylan pulled out the gun or handed it to Ja. Go ahead and put this
It's
on.
like, I don't know if you guys ever watch Power. Or listen, I talk TV, right? But I ever watch Power. They're trying to set up Dre, and then Tasha sets up Kanan instead. He's like, yo, I was gonna set up Dre, like, yo. Yeah, to see what happens with the John Morant thing, man. But you know, that's after the season, after the finals, we're gonna get that.
Right.
So you know, after the finals, we gotta get into this.
Yeah.
Unc is leaving. Shannon Sharpe
Yeah.
is leaving FS1, Fox. He's leaving Undisputed. This man has given us so many great moments over the years. So many great moments. Him and Skip both. Like, let's not leave out Skip, like, with it, because that's like peanut butter and jelly right there. They're such a great tandem. Like, so many great moves. Skip, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the GOAT Maz.
I personally think like Shannon is so good for this internet age.
Yeah.
Like, that's boosted up his popularity.
You can capture so much of his personality in such a small moment.
Right, right. And of course, that's what's popping, the shorts and things of that nature.
Right.
So you're gonna see him all the time, and he's active on social media. You know, Club Say is a hit success. That's been really cool watching. Like,
but you say he's also taking that because so that's a podcast, but it's filmed and it's actually it's shown on FS1.
Yeah.
And he's taking that with him apparently. The reports are saying.
Oh.
Where would you like to see him do next?
I can't really like speak too much on that one aspect. But truthfully, like, he already has his own podcast, so I probably want to see this man branch out solo.
Yeah, I want to see him do that, more of that for a while before he jumps into, like, obviously I would like to see him do guest spots. Because like, I was watching Stephen A's show and he was saying, like, he wants to have...
The man could probably really hold, like, he probably, from his popularity, from what I hear...
He can have his own show.
He can have his own, like, huge... He has his own show already, right?
He has his own podcast.
He has his own podcast.
But he can have
his own show. Like, he has a big enough following, possibly, at this very current moment, where he can do something like that. So who knows what type of contacts might be floating around that we don't even know about yet.
True.
Yeah, different offers and everything like that.
Yeah, because, like, remember, like, these are all businessmen, so who knows how far they're really planned out.
We know he's going to, because from Stephen A. Smith's show, we know he's going to appear on Stephen A. Smith's podcast, and then Stephen A. Smith's going to appear on his podcast. So they're already working together in that regard. But
do you think there's something to, like, them waiting so... Like, there's a short period of time from us finding out, because what was it, yesterday or a couple days ago?
I think that means...
Like June 1st, and then it's like right after the finals.
I think that means that this decision was made...
long ago.
Probably when everybody's speculating with the DeMar Hamlin incident that happened.
Right.
I think
this does seem like something...
But why wait so long?
And more to the... Because
it's like so abrupt.
It's because that's how you do things. Because the network has their own like rollout ideas. It's kind of like, you know, when Angela Yee left Breakfast Club. Like, they knew about that like a year before we did.
Have they said are they just gonna go off the air like Undisputed, or like Skip
sure.
gonna rock it by itself?
Maybe Skip will have some guest hosts. Something. They said Skip has complete control over who will be the next guest host.
As he should.
As he should. He's earned it right.
Yeah.
He's earned it right. Skip is Skip, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of devastating. That was news like,
hurt.
Yeah, because like you see their chemistry so well. It's like, all right.
And despite sometimes, you know, you go. Sometimes, listen, you know, I'm going to shamelessly promote myself a little bit here. I obviously have a podcast. We talk about film and television. When we started out, you know, it looked a bit differently than it looks now. We had a different, you know, an additional co-host to the one we have now. And sometimes it's like, you know, you work better as friends and as colleagues, or friends rather than colleagues or co-workers, and sometimes that's just how that works. So I hope that Skip and Shannon, because like Skip, as Shannon always says, Skip put him on. That's an important thing in this business and entertainment world. The person that puts you on, you always got to have respect for. So I hope they can like salvage that friendship and that relationship. Hopefully that's not lost.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I feel like, let me ask you something crazy, man. Like, if you could have anybody, it could be in sports, movies, any type of entertainment. You know when Dave Chappelle was just on somebody's album, he was hosting it or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, who would you want to, like, host, like, your upcoming project?
Dope.
If I had a chance.
Better say me, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, they gotta be alive.
Okay.
They gotta be alive.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah, they gotta be alive.
That one's gonna be hard, bro. Like, I don't know, actually. That one would be kind of hard. That one would be kind of hard because I'm thinking about my style and I'm trying to see like who would like perfectly fit that. And you know, I like to do some weird, wild stuff. I'll put Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather?
I would.
I think Floyd is a great shit talker, and I think your next tape is the Rage tape, correct?
Pretty much.
Can you say a little bit about that?
For my Rage tape, it's gonna be something like completely different than what I've been dropping singles through this whole entire year, and I got like another one coming up soon. Just dropped www like 2 weeks back with Tope, my boy, and so like I'm gonna give you guys a whole bunch of different tastes of music, and then I'm gonna show you like my inner Rage child, the one that likes to break things, the one that likes to like be rambunctious and like loud and not be told to turn down or like be quiet or anything like that. So that's what this tape was going for. So it was definitely like one of those like.
I definitely think Floyd fits that too. With all due respect, I don't like talking shit about people who can knock me out, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I would probably pick him because like sometimes it's not what exactly he says, it's how he says it and what he's doing. Because like this, can you deny that man's work ethic? Like
true.
And like that, people with that type of work ethic, their sayings to you become different because like they really mean this. Like this is what they bleed
the
into.
impact,
lifestyle.
the impact of their words, changes once you see the after effect of their actions.
Exactly. So like I'll probably I'll say that. I'll probably stick to that truthfully.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Like and it'll be completely out of pocket. Like no one would see me do that with him, especially on something like this.
For sure. How much do you think he asked for?
Oh no, that's a pretty little penny, boy. that's a dime, boy. That's probably
More than you have.
more than I have.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Let's not talk about.
It's okay, man. It's all right. But hell yeah, man. What's a guest that you like to have on your podcast if you could have one? And they have to be alive.
In the
On you guys' next podcast, what is it gonna be? What's the topics gonna be?
Well, the next podcast, we do this thing on 3 Geeks in a Pod called the Retro Review, where you watch an older movie, kind of go back in time and watch an older movie and review it and talk about what worked in it, what didn't work in it, things we liked about it, and how it relates to maybe something that we're watching today. In this time in particular, that we got the Retro Review coming. We got Fast and Furious 5. We're doing a retro review of.
Ooh.
Because Fast X just came out.
Ooh.
And
Halfway back.
all of its ridiculousness. So, and because those movies literally connect, those movies literally connect because Fast 10 is apparently it's the story literally correlates with the story of 5. So we're gonna do the retro review of Fast and Furious 5. Talk about that a little bit, go into that, and that's the next episode. If we could have anybody now, if you're saying like connected to that podcast, if we could have someone in that podcast,
Vin Diesel.
and they said it had to be alive.
Yeah.
I'd like
I think I had an idea who you might have thought about, but yeah, they had to be alive.
They had to be alive.
Yeah.
If it could be anybody, man,
Yeah.
you already know it would be a Logan Paul
for
Walker,
sure.
man. Rest in peace to him.
The
Greatest.
real one.
The real one. But out of the Fast and Furious franchise, just for that particular podcast, if I could have somebody in there.
I think Tyrese is entertaining.
No, I don't like Tyrese in interviews. I don't like Tyrese in real life. I like Tyrese. Tyrese.
What more do you want from me?
What more do you want from me?
Hey, we don't bully around here, man. You can be vulnerable, Tyrese. It's
I love
okay, man.
Tyrese. I do. That's me though.
Tyrese trying to get vulnerable with that judge, and the
Oh
judge
my
hit him with
God.
that whammy.
All right, so not Tyrese.
Not
Tyrese.
Man, The Rock would be dope because we always be joking about The Rock on the podcast. Like, we done said some kind of heinous shit, but not as heinous as we said about Vin Diesel. Like, I think if Vin Diesel played back my podcast, he'd probably want to throw hands with my co-host and myself probably. But The Rock, like even though we clown on The Rock too, but it's always a good jest, and it's like it's always in like. We always keep it real, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he puts out a stinker, we're going to say that it's a stinker. But when he does great, and The Rock is phenomenal. And I would love to, like, hear him just, like, pick his brain on certain things, like his choices and things like that. And then plus, like, we have this joke on the podcast where we say things that, like, The Rock would say. And we got this thing where, like, we came up with this phrase. That's just how the syrup hits the pancakes, because we feel like that's something that Rock would say in a movie.
That is a Rock saying.
Like, it would be like something like he'd be like a special agent in the movie, right? But he'd have a daughter, right? And the daughter would want to go out, and he'd be like, "You gotta be home by 10, honey." And she'd be like, "That's not fair." He'd be like, "That's just how the syrup hits the pancakes."
Yeah.
That was perfect.